The sound of booing echoed through the conference hall as Keir Starmer stood frozen at the podium. This wasn't a hostile Tory crowd. These were Labour's own supporters, the people who propelled him into Downing Street. What could possibly make lifelong Labour voters turn on their leader so publicly? The answer reveals a political crisis brewing at the heart of Starmer's government, one that threatens to unravel his premiership before it's even begun. Subscribe now because what comes next could redefine British politics. This isn't just about one awkward moment. Starmer's leadership faces a perfect storm. A betrayal of core Labour values on immigration, an economic time bomb from Trump's tariffs, and a cost-of-living crisis squeezing households to breaking point. Meanwhile, his government quietly surrendered a critical military asset, the Chagos Islands, without proper public scrutiny. Each of these issues alone would be damaging, but together they paint a picture of a government losing its way. Let's start with the immigration debacle. Starmer's recent speech in London was meant to showcase Labour's tough new stance. Instead, it exposed a stunning lack of original policy. His promises to stop the boats and smash the gangs were lifted straight from the Tory playbook, phrases we've heard for years without results. The hypocrisy is staggering. This is the same man who called the Rwanda scheme unworkable, yet now adopts its rhetoric while offering no substantive alternative. The numbers don't lie. Since Starmer took office, small boat crossings have surged, with over 5,000 arrivals in August alone, a record high. His claim of returning 24,000 migrants sounds impressive until you realize 100,000 entered irregularly in the same period. It's like bailing out a sinking ship with a teacup. Labour voters expected compassion and competence. What they got was empty posturing. Subscribe at this critical juncture, because the economic threats ahead are even more alarming. While Starmer obsesses over immigration soundbites, an economic tsunami is heading for Britain. On April 2, 2025, Trump's new tariffs will slap 20% duties on UK exports to America, our largest non-EU trading partner. The Office for Budget Responsibility warns this could wipe out all fiscal headroom Rachel Reeves boasted about. Goldman Sachs has already downgraded UK growth forecasts. The human cost will be severe. Nearly 20% of British-built cars go to the US, a £6.4 billion trade at risk. Tens of thousands of manufacturing jobs hang in the balance. Yet Starmer's response? Last-minute begging for exemptions. This isn't governance, it's crisis mismanagement. The Tories rightly ask, why wasn't securing a US trade deal Labour's top priority? The answer suggests either incompetence or negligence. Meanwhile, ordinary Brits face a cost-of-living crisis that's worsening, not improving. Energy bills have jumped £114 annually, water rates are up £10 monthly, and 95% of councils hit households with maximum 4.99% tax hikes. Starmer's touted national living wage increase, £1,400 yearly, gets swallowed whole by these rises. It's like giving someone a life jacket while drilling holes in their boat. The political fallout is already visible. Approval ratings are plummeting as voters do the math, wages up 6.7%, but bills up faster. The Liberal Democrats estimate families will be £3,536 worse off this parliament. When your solution is outrun by the problem, you're not leading, you're failing. Now to the most shocking betrayal, the Chagos Islands. While Brits struggled with bills, Starmer's team quietly handed this strategic territory to Mauritius. Diego Garcia, a vital military base, is now leased back to us for 99 years, with Britain paying Mauritius for the privilege. Dame Priti Patel calls this one of Britain's worst foreign policy failures. She's right. We've surrendered sovereignty over critical defense assets with less debate than a local planning application. The pattern is clear. On immigration, Starmer mimics Tory failures. On the economy, he's asleep at the wheel. On national security, he's surrendering assets. No wonder Labour voters are booing. This isn't the government they voted for. Traditional Labour supporters feel especially duped. They expected progressive policies, not conservative light rhetoric. Social media trends like #NotMyLabour reveal the depth of betrayal. Even Trump's endorsement of the Chagos deal, calling the lease powerful, should embarrass Starmer. When your best defense is approval from Donald Trump, you've lost the plot. What does this mean for Labour's future? History shows governments rarely recover once their base sours this quickly. The 2024 election gave Starmer a mandate, but he's squandering it at record speed. If he can't bridge the gap between promises and delivery, those boos will grow louder, and not just from Labour voters. The question isn't whether Starmer's in trouble. It's whether he even recognizes the scale of his self-inflicted crisis. Will he course correct with bold policies, or keep recycling soundbites while Britain's problems deepen. Subscribe for the latest as this political drama unfolds. One thing's certain, in politics, trust lost is rarely regained. Starmer's running out of time to prove he's not just another politician who overpromised and underdelivered.